Today I'm joined by two awesome ladies, Dr. Bianca and Stephanie. Welcome, guys, and thank you. Awesome. So, Stephanie, you can start off with the dry scoop because apparently we need to get in the zone.
Yeah, we're just going to take some Binge and pre-workouts, you know, get some energy.
Get the vibe going.
Nice.
Oof.
Very nice.
When last did you dry scoop?
When I was in varsity, probably like 4 years ago.
That's a long time.
Long time
Are you
ago.
going to be ready for it?
Yeah, I'll do it. And you?
Well, yeah, I'm doing it. It's just been a while, but let's go for it. This thing's really on tight.
You can dry scoop pre-workout, but never try dry scoop whey protein.
Oh, no.
No.
Gross.
Yeah, I've done that. It was dumb.
Yeah, sounds dumb.
You did a full scoop.
Damn.
Take a sleeping tablet
Just
tonight.
don't cough because it'll just powder will come
Get
out.
your water.
It's okay. It's dissolving. It's like sherbet.
Yeah. The sweetest thing you've had all week.
What flavor is it? Orange flavor. Let's go.
I kind of
It
like
literally
it.
just tastes like sherbet, so
I
Okay,
actually
at
really
least.
Like it.
it's quite
I
cool.
think that's how
actually.
you do product control, and you see if a brand has good whey protein, good pre-workouts.
Yeah,
Is
that's
if you can
true.
dry scoop it
Yes,
without
Then
any
you know
water.
it's the real deal,
Yeah, then
right?
you know
it
it's
was
the
pretty
real
pleasant.
deal.
It's quite nice.
I liked it.
It's like orange sherbet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
well, you
liked
did a full
orange.
scoop, so I'll do a full scoop as well.
Thank
Nice.
you.
You guys are brave.
All
Does that
in
count
or
as a full
nothing?
scoop?
Not really, no. Maybe just a little bit more.
It's gonna
But
be
it's
dense.
clumpy. So
Doesn't matter.
okay,
There we
ooh.
go. Oh,
How much is a serving? 2 scoops. Oh, so it's actually half a scoop. So
Yeah.
you did a quarter scoop, but that's okay.
I'm very sensitive to caffeine. I'm a
nice.
baby.
There we go. You'd literally like eating sherbet.
Now I'm doing like ASMR into the mic.
Yeah, just
Sorry, guys, if that sounded gross. How are you guys? Perfect. How are you guys with the noise people make when they eat?
it has to be a very particular person. So the way that they open up stuff, it has to be a very like calm. You know when they like, I was actually watching this the other day, and then they were so rough with their things, and I was just like, I can't listen to this. But if it's relaxing, I don't know, then I like it.
But if you're eating at a table, dinner table,
Oh,
and you can hear someone
no.
eating.
Keegan eats like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, if
can't
it
stand
wasn't
it.
Keegan, obviously with him though, it's also like he just walks into the room and it's annoying sometimes. Like that, you just get to that
Yeah,
point with your
obviously.
partners. But
We love him, but
that for me
sometimes.
is the worst. Is the
I can't
eat?
stand
I
it.
can't stand hearing people eat.
I thought you're like ASMR vibes.
Yeah.
But no, I can't.
No, that's a different story. But when you're hearing crunching or
You
whatever,
don't like to
how are
hear
you?
someone's saliva.
No.
Yeah, well,
No,
but
I
also
can't.
another thing is scraping. I don't like scraping plates and you know, like when someone's drinking, slurp. There we go. Slurping and scraping is a no-go zone.
I sleep in my own free time
There we go.
away from people. That's what I do.
There we go.
Yo, you should
Yeah.
literally go to a Starbucks and just move around and slurp next to people just to annoy them.
Oh,
If you don't want to get hit, then
and then go after every
yeah.
time.
there we go.
But that's also mentioned Starbucks. Sorry, I'm very ADHD, so my brain goes everywhere.
We like
That's
that.
okay, yeah.
We
I like that.
We like that.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about the hype that Starbucks had. Think about the hype that Krispy Kreme had. And then they come to our country and then there's multiple everywhere.
I
Then the
know.
hype's kind of gone.
Pretty
Oh, yeah,
much, yeah,
100%.
pretty much. Like anything though, right?
Yeah.
There's always a hype and then it always
What was that yogurt place? That was such a big
Wakaberry?
Wakaberry.
Oh, Wakaberry.
Wakaberry and
Remember
Smooch.
Wakaberry? Oh my gosh. When last?
I know.
When last?
I'm good, eh?
But also because it's frozen yogurt, it just hits bit different. I actually prefer frozen yogurt to ice cream.
Okay.
Well, it is healthier, I think, as well, right? A healthy alternative. Yeah.
Yeah. I just do vegan yogurt. It's very
Steph's the
expensive.
vegan between us.
Okay.
The dairy free.
Dairy free. So,
Yeah. So coconut yogurt. Oh, that slaps.
But also
So
when
good.
you're like really dieting down, almost everyone becomes dairy free.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't really have dairy, if you want to
yeah.
lean
Dairy
out.
is not really good for the stomach,
No.
in my opinion. And so many people walking around with like IBS. There are more people that have IBS, in my opinion, than don't. So dairy is just stay away from it.
Yeah, I think there's more
Yeah.
people that are lactose intolerant than not.
100%, yeah, exactly. And when you're prepping and you're watching your diet, dairy is usually cut out anyway. So to find those healthy alternatives in the beginning, you're just saving yourself, in my opinion.
Are you not 2 weeks out from a show?
Well, 9 days now. It's
Yeah.
next week Saturday.
Crazy. What show is that?
Super Summer Bodies. Yeah, first show ever. I was actually not set on competing. I didn't think it was for me. But here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am.
So what did you not think was for you? Like the pageantry
The not
part
having-
of it?
Oh, I'm
Chocolate.
a big foodie. Hey, oh my gosh. Like people think skinny people don't eat. I eat a lot. And I just didn't know if I could cut it out. But I'm always
I've
about-
never seen anyone
yeah.
snack as much as Bianca.
I'm
Like,
bad.
I've never
Yeah.
ever seen anyone snack.
Isn't it
Yeah.
usually like that though, where the taller, slimmer people, or it's obviously genetics, but
Yeah,
they're the
yeah.
ones that do prefer to eat more?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, diet, salad. Like, I'm not a salad girl.
Well, that's actually what I said isn't true, because I said they prefer to eat more. I think every human prefers to
Of
eat.
course.
But,
yes,
but the
yeah.
taller, skinnier people can sometimes afford it because genetically maybe they have a faster
Yes,
metabolism.
100%. Genetically, I never used to struggle, so I always used to eat whatever I want. And so, like, obviously prepping is very strict, and I didn't know if it was for me. But here I am trying it out, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
You haven't or have competed before?
No, so years ago I like tried to, and then I was like, no, it's not for me.
Can you pull that a bit closer, a tiny bit?
But closer, cool, like that, great.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's never been. I already have body dysmorphia.
Who
And I've-
doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, it's
Honestly.
very true.
And I've also got a binging like disorder, like
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
And I think that's something that's not spoken about as much because we know how addictive sugar is. It's
so
ridiculous. It's out of all the things that I've really enjoyed in life that might be detrimental if you have too much of it.
Sugar.
Is the most difficult thing. If you look at any human being,
Yeah.
who can avoid sugar entirely? And all those people I think on social media that pretend that they do, I think that's more detrimental because in terms of the mental health and feeling bad about yourself, when you see all these people posting how they, how bad sugar is for you, you should never have it in your diet. It's like, let's be a little bit more realistic and understand
Yeah.
that it's
That's
in
impossible.
It's
everything.
impossible.
It's
Yeah.
impossible. It's in all the food and it's just so nice.
Yeah.
I know, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, no, I'm a huge binger, so like I can't even taste something because I know that that trigger flips. It's like having it's an addict, it's an addiction. Like
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
literally
yeah.
we both talk about this all the time, how we're so addicted to sugar and it is so detrimental. Like we constantly like think about it. You can't have one.
Yeah.
You will literally like lose your mind.
So then do you
Yeah.
guys do that where, and I do it, is you kind of allow yourself obviously to have a cheat meal, cheat day, whatever, but go cold turkey. Instead of saying like, oh no, it's a Tuesday night. If I just have one small block of chocolate, it'll be okay, which it would be, but it doesn't stop at one small block. Or at least that's for
Yeah.
me.
Well,
Yeah.
I've learned a lot since my prep because I've never followed diet, I've never counted calories, and coming from a person that enjoys sweet things, I prefer to wean off of it. So like instead of just cutting it, I prefer to slowly limit the amount of sugar intake because I feel like if I just had to cut it out, I wouldn't survive and it wouldn't be sustainable. So I prefer kind of weaning off of it. And then like trying simple things, and this is what I've learned through prep, is like replacing your sugary things with something that's very low calorie but still tastes sweet. So that's kind of the approach that I have learned.
Would that be like the complete opposites of like those sugar-free jellies and like those kind of
No,
things?
that's
Or
just-
would it
That's
kind
what
of,
I'm talking about.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, those sugar-free jellies. I'm not a jelly person, but it has been like my life-saving grace because there's no calories. There's
it's like
no
Tony Ferguson. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I just think it's just also about creating awareness for people to say that there's sugar in everything. And if you don't educate anyone on it, like myself, I didn't know how unhealthy it is. And then you just keep feeding that addiction. So weaning off definitely for me and replacing it with a healthier alternative, in my opinion, will help people with sugar addictions.
Well,
Yeah.
Steph, you mentioned the body dysmorphia, and obviously I think everyone has it, some to a different degree, but you two have very different body types.
Extremely,
Not
yeah.
saying one is better than the other, but your training style and the results you will see will be different to Bianca.
100%.
So
yes.
how do you manage that?
Your-
Because being a girl also, it's more difficult than being a guy because with men it's easier to change your body because of the testosterone, because of genetically it's just easier to build muscle or to change the shape and lose fat. So how do you manage that as a girl? And then we'll ask both of you.
So I only actually came to terms with that maybe this year. Like, I mean, I've been struggling with it for such a long time. Like, even when we met.
Yeah.
So obviously you go through life like wanting to be skinny. I think every girl does, especially with what the media has put out, not knowing that that's genetics as well. It's not just women starving themselves. Like, you can't get to a model body with my body.
No matter how much dieting you get, you're not going to change your bone structure.
100%. So I think I've just finally come into my own this year, and I'm actually like, oh, shit, I love myself and I love how I am, and I think I have things to improve on. But at the end of the day, I think as I got older, I mean, I'm 27 this year. Yeah. So I think my brain kind of changed. I think that's the only way to think about it. But that's the only way that I actually finally got out of that. And I was like, oh, okay, I like myself a little bit.
And it's tough because you have to go through the stages of not liking yourself, of looking at other people. Not that it's ever healthy, but you have to go through those unhealthy stages and managing your expectations. I can still look great, but I can't have long legs. You know, I can look great and I can look amazing just because the societal view of tall and skinny might be perfect or whatever. Obviously, I mean, it's hugely subjective what beauty is, but at the end of the day, you kind of just need to go through that tough time to find yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, once you realize you can't change the body that you're in unless you get surgery, then you're like, okay, that's cool. I just got to work on myself. Think like if I'm trying to get a little bit more lean on my stomach and then my bum's showing, then I'm like, cool. When that goes away,
When the bum goes away.
When the bum goes away, I'm like, oh shit.
See, but that's also where it comes in, where you can probably build muscle easier, or you can keep the size of your bum better. But whereas like Bianca is being a taller person, I'm not saying you got a small bum.
I hope not. I've been working so hard on it.
I'm not saying
All
that.
the glute hip thrusts.
But,
Yo, girl, you've been training those glutes.
but essentially, like the taller and slimmer genetically you are, the quicker the muscle goes.
100%. So like Steph and I have two different body types. Like I feel like I'm more lean and slender, but like no matter how much I train my glutes, they will never be the size of Steph's, right? No matter like how much I train it. And that's why like in competing, you have different categories. You have wellness, you have bikini, to categorize your body into something that suits you genetically, right? And that's where a lot of people go wrong is that they want to put themselves in a category where genetically they might not be. And the sooner people realize or accept their genetics and kind of do something that will improve their genetics or in a way that amplifies their genetics instead of going against it, I think people will be a lot happier about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
And social media hasn't helped that.
No.
Well, maybe it hasn't. It's changed though, because on social media now, also the more curvy you are, the more you are adored. So it's kind of.
I just think it comes down to accepting your body structure and your type for who you are, but also doing it in a way where you're not encouraging the bad habits. So as long as you're living an active and balanced and healthy lifestyle, no matter what body type you are, in my opinion, that's the message that needs to be come across. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I only follow, like, if I'm following fitness models and stuff, it has to be my body type.
Yeah.
Because when I follow girls that are, like, completely out of my range, I get so insecure. So I always follow girls that I'm like, okay, cool, like, that's achievable. Because then what's the point of following people unless they have a message to send? If they're just showing their bodies. I mean, I'm going to follow a body type that I could potentially reach. So...
Yeah, I think that's with the social media aspect is very difficult because people are also, and also we don't know if those girls really look like. Comparison puts you in an unhealthy space, and then you don't really realize the negative or the negative what's the word? The negative connotations, but I was going to say more, okay, well, anyway, yeah, the bad
That works.
connotations.
That
It works perfectly, that it has on your life, because then every aspect of your life becomes more negative.
It does.
100%.
Comparison is like the worst thing you can do to yourself.
Yeah.
And it's a thief of joy, because
100%, yeah.
you do not know. Obviously, if we're looking at, let's say, money, for example. You see this person in a car. You're like, yo, that person's got a car. They 25. I'm 27. How come I don't have a car like that? But you don't know that they weren't given that car. They weren't renting the car for the day. So there's so much on social media where obviously people are going to try to show their best life.
Yeah.
But they might be completely faking it, and trying to remove yourself from seeing that and getting envious of it is, you know, the goal hopefully
Yeah.
people can get to.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
So you are, how old?
I'm 26.
26.
Yes.
So when did
27.
you qualify?
The
Would it be
same-
recently?
Does that mean I'm 26
You're
as well?
26.
I'm
yes.
26, okay.
So I actually entered Binge and Face of Fitness 2021, and that was when I qualified in 2021.
Okay, so two.
So
oh,
two
years
basically
ago.
2
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, I entered it when I qualified
Okay.
in my final year.
Well, let's talk about this face of fitness stuff,
Yes.
because you are
On the
currently in the
topic.
top 6, Steph.
Woo! We were both top 6.
Yes, yeah, just different years.
Just different years, yeah.
And if you
Yes.
guys were going head to head now,
Nah, we
then
would
you
never
wouldn't
do
be
that.
friends.
No.
We would never do that. Funny enough, actually, I actually wanted to enter last year. Because I think every girl kind of looks at it and they're like, oh, I want to enter. I want to enter.
Yeah.
But I was like, last year didn't feel right to me. I'm so glad I didn't enter last year. I just don't think I would have even got into top 6. This year just felt right. Like everything worked out. Sean and them put out a like a shoot day. It was like 250 Rand to get your cover shoot for the Binge and Face of Fitness entry. So I was like, and it was 2 minutes away from my house. I was like, cool, let's go. And then I think Sean was the final factor to be like, no, Steph, I think you should enter. I was like, okay,
Got nothing to lose.
got nothing to
right?
lose.
Yeah.
other
And
than the
then-
competition.
Other than the competition.
No, I'm joking. So I'm interested in hearing, obviously last year, because I've found in my life, the less I force things, when I'm forcing things, the less likely they are to work out.
Yeah.
100%.
Because when you constantly, I was actually yesterday, like I was trying to think of business ideas to try and improve my studio, and I was actively thinking about it. And it was difficult to try come up, obviously I could come up with a few, but to actively, write down 10 reasons. Then I just went downstairs and I was lying on my bed looking out at the trees and not thinking about it at all. And then these ideas just started popping into my mind. And that's how life in general is when you fixate on certain things and all your energy goes into like, yo, I'm getting tingly from this pre-workout.
You weak.
my feet are getting a little bit.
I never used pre-workouts. I haven't used it in like a year. Anyway, so what I was saying, I've forgotten.
You were talking about ideas coming into your head.
Yes.
Yes, and how when it flows easier. it's
Yes.
meant
And
to
it
be.
is nice how, and I mean, if you think, let's say you smoke, if you actively think, I need to quit, you're putting the energy onto the fact that you smoke. Then you're going to maybe want it more.
Because
and
you're
crave on it
constantly
more.
thinking about
And
it.
I think maybe that's also how we can maybe get off the sugar to a degree.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
think about
Yeah,
it.
you can't, because if I'm constantly thinking, oh, can't wait till Saturday to cheat. I can't wait till Saturday to cheat. I
True.
can't wait till Saturday to cheat. Probably going to be thinking about the whole week.
But also speaking on that topic is like, I'm a firm believer, and like life has taught me these lessons like month in and month out is like, you can have an idea on what you want to do, and you can also have a feeling on where you want to go. But when that happens is not up to you. And this is where the timing comes in, like what Steph said, when last year it didn't really feel right, but this year it did. And I'm a firm believer on that, because that's also what happened with me. And that's with anything, if you want to open or it might not be for you. I'm always a firm believer on the right timing for anything.
yes.
Yeah.
How are you guys in terms of your time personally? I think as you've developed as adults, you've kind of learned that your time is super valuable. You said you're 26, or you're both 26.
Yeah.
I'm 27. Interesting. I'm surprised that you thought you were older than what you were.
Listen, I forget my age all the time.
That's a
COVID.
good thing though.
It is.
I forget my age
Yeah.
all the time.
Because if you fixated on your aging, it's a negative thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
yeah.
have time to even have that in my brain anymore. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
life's
how
too
old
busy.
are you again?
Life's way too busy.
I'm that age. How tall are you? I don't even know my height by like. If I was like, how tall are you, Steph? I don't know. How tall are you? Let's go head to head. I don't know.
But that's good.
You're right.
That is good, because when I was younger, like last year, 2 years ago, I would
When I was younger, I was like 10
when
years
I was
old.
younger than what I am now, let's say that, I would think like, I'm 26 now, which would have been last year. You know, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be here. I wanted this to be, more developed or whatever. And life is so short, and it's only going to get worse. So if you keep thinking about, I'm aging, or my metabolism is slowing down, or all of these things, like, it just becomes so negative, and it doesn't keep you in the present. It's keeping you either in the past, thinking about your previous achievements, or looking at the future, and then you're not actually enjoying what you have right now.
No.
Definitely. Yeah, I think as humans, I think it's a natural thing to constantly always want more. So you're constantly living like, okay, I want this and then this, and how am I going to get here? And then it's important to take a step back and think, okay, well, the stuff that I have now currently
Is what I prayed
is
for.
what I wanted or I prayed for, and I have it now, So it's important to just try and always remind yourself, even though sometimes it's easier said than done.
How are you guys with bodies like that, your own bodies? In terms of, you look your best you've ever looked, but you're still unhappy. Not saying you're 100% are, but I know myself. If I look on stage, I'm about to go on stage, I look at myself, I'm like, I'm not lean enough. Then 2 weeks later, maybe I put on a bit of weight after the show. Then I look back at those photos and I'm like, I was so lean. But in the moment, you're unhappy.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that's the phase that I'm finding myself in the moment is, in my opinion, I've never worked as hard on my body as I have now. And I feel like my body looks the best it has ever been. But when I take my progress photos, when I'm standing in the mirror, I'm still not satisfied, right? Because again, we're comparing ourselves to this idealization of other women and what they look like, and they look better than you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, right? So that's why I think it's just important to not get in your head too much about never being satisfied with yourself in the moment.
Yeah, like the other day, Keeks and I were driving to gym, and obviously we saw your post on Instagram, and we were both like, yo, she's so lean. And we messaged her and we're like, yo, girl, you're looking so lean. You're looking so good. She's like, really? You're not lying to us? And I'm like, so you see.
It's so true. It's very true. I just think no one's ever satisfied with their body. They always feel like there's room for improvement. But sometimes it's nice to take a step back, put things into perspective, because then you're like you said, then you look at yourself like 4 weeks later and you're like, oh my gosh, I look pretty good, right? So yeah.
It's difficult though, because there's a fine balance of being complacent and, do I deserve to look at how I look now and be like, no, love yourself, be amazing. But if you want to compete, at the end of the day, you need to be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Don't hate yourself maybe for like saying, oh, I'm not lean enough. Don't hate yourself.
Yeah.
But also have those goals. Sorry, there's your water.
Sorry, guys.
And it's difficult because in business, in anything, it's, I don't want to not think, I don't want to get high on my laurels or whatever, thinking I've done so well, because do I not want to push more?
Yeah.
But also I don't want to think I've done badly, and then you start thinking negatively of yourself.
Yeah. I think it's just about whatever you're doing, being proud of yourself for achieving that.
Yes.
You can always want more in any aspect of your life. You can always want to improve on your body, but I think it's just important to give yourself credit where credit is due and be proud of yourself for achieving what you have in the moment that you've achieved it.
Do you guys struggle with that, Steph?
Yes.
Because compare yourself now being ready and looking the best you've ever looked and doing the face of fitness compared to last year when you weren't ready. I'm not saying you didn't look ready, but now you've progressed so much in life that you feel ready for it. But I'm sure there's still aspects of your mind where it's like, I'm not good enough, or
literally on the shoot day, I was like, my obliques aren't even showing. So I had to at least like try get a little bit of like a pump, do something, because nothing was showing. And I was so disappointed in myself. I was like, because when we did the video shoots, the individual video shoots that Sean video does, I was so happy with my body. Like, I have never been that happy with my body before. My obliques were showing, bum perky, my back looked good, everything. I was like, wow. Then I think I maybe went off the rails a little bit after that prep, and I didn't feel happy with how I looked. But at the end of the day, like, if the photos turn out good, then cool beans. But just in that moment, I probably look back and be like, oh, I look good. But in that moment, I did not feel good about myself at all.
I think that's where you kind of need to be, because you say you went off the rails a little bit. You need to, okay, I don't look bad. I'm not a bad person, or I'm not inferior to anyone else. I maybe ate a bit, I enjoyed my weekend a bit too much. It's kind of just looking at the facts.
Yeah.
And taking the emotion out of it and be like, okay, well, I did this and this is the reason. And if I hadn't done it, I would have looked the way I wanted. So it doesn't make me doesn't mean I have a bad physique or whatever. This is what I did maybe wrong. So that's the ramifications of that.
I know. Yeah.
But taking the emotion out of it is very difficult.
It is so difficult, because I'm like, this was like the biggest shoot of like your life so far, and then you did that, and I was, but it's okay.
But that's being human, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I enjoy pizza too much. So, and dishes.
Who doesn't, right?
Team Red and dishes.
Yes.
But that's also, we kind of touched on it earlier, is bringing to light that pizza is nice.
It's
Burgers
so
are
good.
nice. Like, you can't live a life without those kind of things.
No.
But what I loved about this year, they were so, like, you didn't have to look a certain way this year. They were just happy that you were comfortable in yourself. Let's say you're a runner, like Gloria's a runner, Kay is like doing F45, Chantal's freaking lean. She was lean. But everyone looked so different. Everyone looked so different. And that's what made me feel like, okay, cool. You know, it's not really about who's the leanest this year. It's not about that. It's about personality. It's about what you bring to the table. So that's what made me feel better.
And I think also on that topic, and this is what makes Badge and Face of Fitness such an amazing competition, is I was top 6, Steph's top 6, and we have completely different lifestyle, body types. We are 2 different people. So it just shows that it's not a competition for who's lean, who's got the most muscles, who's got the most following base. At the end of the day, it's about an attainable goal and lifestyle, and it's supposed to be something that can be relatable to every woman out there. So yeah, it just shows that you don't have to be this lean person to enter it.
Yeah, they're not looking for a specific body type.
No, and I
love it.
Yeah, and it's also just about authentication, right? Being authentic, being you, and inspiring people out there that can relate to you. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, you do need to have like those competitions where every facet of, you know, health, training, like you can be healthy and not be super shredded. Like, it doesn't mean if you're not super shredded that you're not healthy, you know? You can also be shredded, as you've experienced in your life. You can be lean, but unhealthy.
exactly, right?
So
like skinny
the body
people.
fat isn't a true indication of it.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, skinny people can have diabetes.
Absolutely. Listen, please tell them about what Tristan was saying to you.
Yeah, so basically, like when I say a snack, maybe a packet of chips, like a big Dorito packet, and a slab of chocolate, like every night without fail before bed. I'd even fall asleep with
chocolate in her
the
hand.
chips or chocolate next to me,
Who
and then
hasn't?
I'd
I
wake
have.
up and kind of finish it off. I'm so guilty.
You're going to make a lot of girls very angry.
I
Yeah.
know, no, guys. Anyway, so yeah, and then like my boyfriend was like, you know, skinny people can have diabetes,
Like,
right?
he sat her down and did a
And
little
he sat me
intervention.
down and he was like, listen, yeah, like you can't be eating sugar like that, right? And I didn't know I was unhealthy until I started eating clean. And then I was like, what? Like, yeah.
How did your energy differ?
Sure. So obviously I have an active job. And like I said, when you're doing something so like over and over again, no different. But when I started fueling my body with healthy foods, I obviously felt that I can get through training a lot more and I'm more active, but just feel healthier. I used to suffer from a lot of stomach issues. We all know everyone RBS, but that hasn't happened because obviously I've eliminated the fatty foods and the sugars and stuff.
The dairy.
And yeah, there we go. So yeah, overall, like energy, mood, how I feel, and I feel like I have added at least 3 years to 5 on my life.
Yeah.
My lifespan.
You're not going to
Yeah.
look as old when you...
Exactly. There we go. Yeah.
Sugar makes you age.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
It's bad. And
yeah.
I've seen, like, after a show, because it's very difficult to diet after a show, because you've dedicated so hard to refraining from any type of bad food, and then you don't have an end goal that's forcing you to stick to a certain diet plan,
Yeah.
and then you kind of go off the rails. I mean, it was when I competed in Canada and I came
Canada?
home,
That's cool.
a while ago.
You're
How long
damn.
ago was that?
2017. Oh, no, I was 20.
And you are how old now?
27. So it was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
But also a lot of it was water in general that you do put on after a show.
100%,
But
yeah.
also maybe the plane ride. But I put on 20 kilograms.
Hectic.
20 kilograms from when I left Canada to when I got back to South Africa.
And how did you handle that
The
body?
boy was eating.
How did you handle that body like transition?
It was tough. So I've said it
Yeah.
on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Not how I handled it, but I went to the gym after the show and a guy asked me if I had my wisdoms out. And just because my face was so fat and holding so much water.
Oh my gosh.
So that was kind of a thing where I was like, okay, this is clearly very noticeable. Because in general, I do put on weight on my face quite quickly. But this was that, the water from the altitude and all of that, and then the bad food, and then rebounding from the show. It was all of the components together just made it so bad. It was tough because I was in a relationship then. So I
Okay.
felt loved regardless. So
Oh, Grace.
yeah.
Chubby cheeks or not?
Yeah, so like, that aspect of it was cool because like I didn't feel like I wasn't valued.
Yes, of course.
Definitely in terms of social media, I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
posting a photo of myself looking like this.
Yeah, of course.
So that's negative because if you can't post a photo of yourself,
And
you're uncomfortable in your own skin, however you look.
yeah.
You don't have to post on social media, but if you don't post because you're not happy with how you look, then you attributing your value to what other people think of you.
Yeah,
and your
definitely.
value should never be, dictated on what other people think of you because you
100%,
can never
yeah.
control that. You can't control, no matter how amazing you are even, what other people think of you. So that aspect of it was negative, the social media side of it. Definitely I was unhappy. I mean, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
being like so low body fat and then getting back and then looking like I've never dieted before in my life.
And had your wisdom through.
Yeah, exactly.
You're damn. You're lucky.
okay.
You won't look like that after a
Oh,
show.
well, it hasn't happened yet, so hopefully not.
Well,
Nah, girl.
Well, I guess my
Yeah,
genetics are
yeah.
relatively similar to yours.
yeah.
I definitely
So you're saying that I'm
can't-
going to look like a swollen chipmunk?
No. I definitely can't eat as much as you said, like snacking
yeah.
and not have put on a lot of weight. But my genetics, compared to a lot of people I know, are for men, like the barrel fat. That's
That's
the
hard.
first thing that comes and the last thing to leave.
Yeah.
And when you do a show and you've starved yourself so much and your body fat is so low, obviously your body's just going to hold on to anything. And then when you do, even for a week after the show, throw all caution to the wind and eat a lot, that's so difficult to lose. Like you can't diet for 12 weeks. It's the same as anything, like running or whatever. Like if you train for 12 weeks, you can't expect to put that same amount of, like it's not going to take you 12 weeks to put that fat back on from when you started.
No, maybe like
it's going to take you like 1
Yeah,
week, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just the way it is.
100%,
If you're running
yeah.
a marathon and then you don't train for 2 weeks, your fitness is going to drop.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
It takes
100%,
way longer to build something up than it does to,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. Definitely.
So what are you going to do after the show? Still,
Eat.
but also, yeah, eat.
Yeah, definitely eat, enjoy the time off, but not go off the rails too much because I'm hoping to compete maybe if all goes well next year again. So
Okay, nice.
I don't want to let myself
Might as well.
Might as well, yeah.
And are you going to compete once you win Face of Fitness?
Yeah.
Is it still called Face of Fitness?
Bajan Face of
Bajan.
Fitness,
Oh, it is,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, we don't know who's winning here.
But I'm saying, I definitely don't know, but when you win, let's just say
Yeah,
that.
you have to put it out there.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah, it's so much pressure. Like I've got people on Instagram messaging me and they're like, "Yo, you deserve to win," and I'm like, "Yo, dude, I don't know who they're picking this year." I think it's going to be such a tough pick
Yeah.
because we all look so different. But
That's how it should be. It shouldn't be like 10 skinny shredded chicks.
No,
I agree.
definitely not.
Yeah.
All of us should look different. But I was chatting to Bianca the other day and I was like, yeah, no, I'm never going to compete. And she's like, well, you said you'd never enter Bianca Face of Fitness. So,
Yeah.
so I'm never going to say never, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I could go that far, if I could put my body through that. Like, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Because, damn.
But at the same time, like, look how well you've done in Face of Fitness, right? And you never thought you would do it, and you never thought that you would do something like this ever, right?
No.
So, yeah, obviously, I always say never say never.
Never say never.
I
But
guess
yeah.
it all depends on might be, you know. So you never know, like, where it's going to take
I
you.
know. I'm so excited
Yeah.
for that because some change would be nice in my life.
Isn't that fascinating though? How you can map out your whole life. Let's use you as an example, because I mean you had to study for 7 years, right?
Yes.
So you obviously thought, once I qualify, get the degree, get a job, work. But there is no way you could have predicted where you'd be working, the friends you would have in
Not
7
at
year
all.
time.
No.
And it's just fascinating how life works. You actually cannot plan.
But that's what I was saying, right? We were just saying, like, I'm a big planner. I like to know what I'm doing when, plan even like next year, like this is where I'm going. And life doesn't work like that. So it's just about, like I said, having your goals and ideas, but kind of being moldable. So you kind of mold according to like what opportunities and things are coming in the present so that you can kind of go where you're meant to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So never say never.
Never say never. Yeah, I was going to say no, I wouldn't. But then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Definitely.
What life lessons, or not life lessons, but more, what lessons have you learned maybe in terms of building a brand, or in terms of how do you present yourself similar to building a brand, that you've learned from this? Has it just been, the type of content you should post, or because I mean everyone goes through stages in social media where they're getting more likes, and then sometimes they just all the likes disappear, and then so what have you found? Like, have you found, okay, well, I see when I do more training videos, maybe girls like that, or when I talk about nutrition more, or when I show more behind the scenes, like your followers, or have you seen, more interest in certain aspects of your life by showing it more now? Because you are showing it more now.
Yeah.
With this whole competition.
Yeah, I went quite quiet on social media. I was just like, I don't know what to post. Generally didn't know what to post. So this kind of gives me more of a direction. And also now being sponsored by Biogen, I can actually do promotion videos and do something fun. I mean, I think funny videos definitely is more my roots, like skits, than, oh, she looks pretty in an outfit. People don't care about that anymore. So, and I genuinely do enjoy like making funny videos. So I think I'll go more in that route, because when like I ever post like photos of myself, if I'm dolled up, or even if it's just of me, no one cares. No one cares. So yeah,
But
I think
the training stuff,
I don't know. Hey, my social media game's not that great, so it's okay. Like, I don't get that much interaction.
but there's definitely been more with
more now. Yes,
showing more of your life.
definitely. Like the one I did with Kay, like that was really cool. Like we actually got to collab and like do something fun together. So, and it wasn't just about training, it was just having fun. So I think when people see me having fun, they're like, oh, cool. I'm more open.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I come across sometimes as like a little bit bitchy, because I am sometimes.
Who isn't?
Everyone has that.
Who
though.
isn't? Yeah, I think so then people they feel like they can interact with me more. So I like that.
And you, because you're a somatologist, right?
Yes.
But obviously you don't post about like your work and stuff. That's up to the company.
Yeah.
that
I
you're
used
working
to post a lot of skin stuff, and then I moved from my old work. My old work had a lot of white walls. It looked aesthetically pleasing. I could make content there. And now I feel like I want to post about what I do, because I feel like what I do, it interests me, and I'm sure it interests some people as well.
The beauty aesthetic industry
Yeah.
is like massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I do a lot of aesthetic work. Like I literally do injections with a machine. I'm legally allowed to do that now. So, I mean, I find what I do interesting. It's just the background.
Who
is
doesn't
not-
want tighter skin, more
Yeah.
collagen?
Who doesn't want to look fantastic, have a whole skin regime going on?
know.
Like, oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
that is my goal this year, because I've got my other page, and this year that is my goal. I will hold myself accountable on
Yes.
here.
We all.
So that has been my goal, like just post, educate people, because I realize like a lot of people don't know what to do. So I keep thinking in my head, oh, everyone knows, so why must I post? But in actual fact, people take advice from me. So
Isn't that's interesting though, because you're surrounded by the industry. You like in terms of dieting. If you know how to diet, if you know how to eat, you just assume everyone knows. So it's
Yes.
like, why should I tell people why having a chocolate and chips at night is bad? Like everyone knows that, but no, not
Yeah.
everyone knows
not
that.
everyone knows.
Yeah.
So you, with obviously your business, you being the face of your business, and you also implement that comedy aspect into your videos as well.
Yeah. So if I always said if I had another job besides chiropractic, I would definitely go into something like brand orientation. I love building brands. I'm obviously building my own now. And I think I had this idea of being qualified and having my own business, but at the same time, I'm always about leveraging off of other brands to expose you. And that's where Bianca Face of Fitness came in for me. And my business and my brand took a whole different direction, obviously after Face of Fitness. And I'm all about aligning my brand with other brands that I think fit into that. And this is where I like working with like Bianca and Dischem to create awareness and education, because obviously that's the field that I'm in, and working with people. And Steph and I are in a similar position where we can't really showcase like the client that we're working on because of Poppy and confidentiality. So it's a bit difficult to
And
say.
they're half naked and like
Yeah,
body parts are exposed
well,
that
half
you might get
naked for
reported
me.
for.
But yeah, so, and also people might not feel very comfortable with it. And there's a lot of medical legal things that are issues. So it's like, how do you advertise your brand and yourself and what you do with so many restrictions? And it just comes down to educating people on things like skin regimes and products to use and things to maybe look out for, and also in terms of like chiropractically, like do's and don'ts and things like that, but also using brands that can relate to you to almost help like what's the word, like help kind of push your brand out there and things like that.
I saw a video, it was actually this morning. He's like a chiropractor for dogs.
Oh, I love that
everyone
guy.
talks about I'm just gonna, this German guy,
Yeah,
Love
please,
him.
bald.
I want to hear your
Oh,
perception on
whenever I
that.
feel like I need something,
I
you
think
know,
you're
go to
like,
him.
I think you're like the 100th person to like be
It's
like,
it was
he's
literally
like-
this morning was the first
Yes.
time I'd ever seen it.
yeah. So chiropractors, you're actually not just for humans. You have like for dogs, for animals, and equine
Horses.
chiropractic horses.
Can you do like amphibians, like a crocodile?
Well, I mean, I personally won't, but I'm sure if we Google, maybe, I don't know. No, so yeah, so they don't offer any animal chiropractic courses in South Africa. You'd have to study abroad. And once you get your chiropractic degree, usually you'd have to go in some sort of veterinary studies as well. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know if I had to say, can I click your dog? You'd be like, I don't know.
Keegan's always wanted to adjust one of the toy palms.
Yeah.
And then it's his mom. She has
yeah.
like 7 toy palms. No, 6 toy palms.
Yeah. A
5 toy
Pekingese?
palms and a Pekingese. And
Yeah.
he's always like joking with her, like, yeah, I'm gonna click Daisy now. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I once pulled my dog's tail and then it like clicked.
Oh, they
felt
actually
really
feels
bad.
good. I think it feels
No, he
good.
didn't
for
do
them.
anything, so I assumed it was fine.
Well, he didn't bite you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
you're good.
So
But it was nice because like I've got a staffy, so seeing him do like the staffies,
Oh, yes.
and just because I mean we know pit bull staffies, they're also lovable.
yeah.
Oh, I
they
love
So
are.
like seeing him do it to that dog, and then seeing the dog like look at him. And
That's
like,
I
love
think the
him.
most is the like the minute he adjusts the dog, like looks at
I
you
love
with
the
these
I love the
eyes.
expression.
Yeah, the dog's like, what just
He's
happened?
like, what did I just experience in here? But yeah, it's really cute. Yeah.
Oh, but it's a good feeling getting realigned.
I hope so.
Oh,
I really hope so. There's
amazing.
nothing better. And so many people are
best.
scared of it, but it's so gentle. And this is another thing, like all those videos circulating and you just seeing this person get flung like on the wall and off the bed.
Oh
And
yeah,
their
the
leg
fake skeletons.
kind of
love
like-
it.
I was watching that, like those comedy ones where it's like when you
Yes,
visit your
yeah.
chiropractor and it's like a skeleton, he's like breaking the
Yes.
legs.
Yeah, and then so many people also see the guy with the hammer.
Oh yes.
You know,
oh, that hammer
like
on the
all
back.
those things. I promise you, it's not like that. It's
Unless you go to Thailand.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
But those people aren't qualified.
No, but also in South Africa, chiropractic is very different. So, yeah, thank you for saying that. Alignment feels good
Oh, I love
because
it.
a lot of people are super scared of it because it looks intimidating, but it's really not.
I think it's also because in any industry you get bad apples.
100%. And I think that's quite an important lesson is like you are going to have the bad from the good in no matter what
in any field.
And
Any
it's
field.
just about not now making a stereotype to say, well, this profession in general is now bad because of one experience.
It's the
right?
same as like a GP.
Yeah.
You know, GPs can be terrible GPs.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you can have an absolutely terrible GP, but you're not going to now be too scared to go to a GP.
Exactly. Like anything in life, any profession.
I mean, if you look at policemen, how many bad?
Oh my
No, let's
gosh.
not even talk about our country.
Yeah, no.
But you know,
yeah,
how many
yeah,
bad
yeah.
policemen? There's
Yeah.
policemen that murder people. There's pilots that are completely crazy. Like in any industry, there's gonna be bad apples.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
I've got like a bone to pick with most dermatologists though, because they'll say, "Here you go. Here's your hydroquinone, and cheers, bye bye. No sunblock, nothing." And now I have to fix those problems. So yeah, there's so many bad apples, and people get lazy. I think lazy is the big one, big one.
I think it's laziness and greed because
Greed.
they might be getting more commission on the more scripts that they're busy writing for that.
Yep.
But also, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, then more people come to you and you get more money.
There
as
we
well.
go.
Well, my boss does, but yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, yeah, later on I would like to have my own thing, so I'll be making that money.
Yeah, like your own salon.
Oh, yeah, like a small little thing just for myself. Definitely.
What type of systems would you put in there?
What kind of systems?
Yeah.
Like
Would you,
machines.
yeah. Would you do like microneedling, hair removal?
Yeah. Microneedling, definitely. Like acne. I love working on acne. I don't know why.
Dr. Pimple Popper.
I love scarring and acne.
Why
love
is it that those videos are so popular?
So, I used to
People
love it.
find it satisfying.
Yeah.
I like. It's terrible that I like this, but like the
The
ingrown
hair-
hairs.
Love the ingrown hairs.
are so satisfying.
Oh, I love it.
Everyone
and it's
right
so
now.
gross because
It
people
is.
have terrible skin. These hairs are like super dark.
Yes.
And it like half
And then-
pulls their face off,
Yeah.
but it's just so satisfying.
You see the hair
I
like
love it.
wiggle out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got over pimples and now I'm into ingrown hairs. My kind of content.
Progression. What's next? But even those like weird videos where it's like satisfying things where like they're cutting stuff or they like even just like watching guys cut trees or like dirty carpets, watching people clean dirty carpets.
Mine is when they clean the sidewalks.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you
that's
see
quite
like a complete
satisfying.
change. It is
Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Love that on YouTube.
Mm.
My favorite.
Well, obviously you're in the industry. I want to hear both of your opinions on like the amount of work you get done on yourself. like be it Botox, be it fillers, be it boob jobs. Like,
I think I've had more work than you.
where do you draw the line?
So Botox, cool beans. Baby Botox is fine for me because I'm still so young. Lip filler, definitely for me because my lips are very weirdly shaped naturally. I used to get a lot of like skin boosters. I'm happy with skin boosters. That's as far as I go now. Like maybe in my 30s, 40s, maybe a boob job. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Botox and filler, cool. Maybe a thread when I'm 40.
I mean,
would you
I have
do?
had nothing
Nothing.
done. This is like a virgin body.
Yeah, you're a virgin right
body, piercings.
What's the reason behind that? Just because you haven't felt the need, or
Yeah, the thing. Okay, I've
And
just
her parents would kill her.
yeah. My parents are very strict, so I always grew up in a household like, you know, don't do anything to your body type of thing. This is how I grew up. But yeah, I only have this piercing. That's it.
so obviously no tattoos.
No,
Nothing.
goodness,
Okay,
no.
okay.
Okay, but besides like I think growing up, not really having a home that promotes getting tattoos done, I kind of just, it's just who I am. But now that I think about it, like, will I get a tattoo? I still don't know. I've always, people are asking me like, are you going to get one? Don't know. And I've never had any sort of filler, Botox, nothing. I was actually talking to Steph about it like a few weeks ago, about, you know, getting the wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah,
but that will
my
come.
crow's feet. I need to fix these. crow's
Yeah, crow's feet for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
zap away.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
And
But
your views on like men getting stuff done? Obviously, like if a man's getting hectic fillers in his lips, like don't.
Yeah,
But
no.
also if you want to, then go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But
Botox for guys, as long as you can move it a little bit,
Yeah,
all about it.
Yeah, I think, you know, do what you want to do as long as you're happy. But, you know, there's a line between overdoing it and
Yes.
doing it just to correct a few things if you want to. So, yeah.
Well, there's this book that I've been reading called Cybernetics, where he was written long ago, but he was a plastic surgeon, the guy who wrote the book, and he saw like people come in who's got a scar, and they say like people are judging me for my scar, so
I love the story.
he'll fix the scars, and then
Yeah.
people still think they're getting judged, even though the scar's fixed, and it's just the perception. Like you'll fix people's big ears, and then they still think that something's wrong with them, and it's all in your way of thinking.
100%.
Absolutely,
yeah.
it's in how you think people think about you.
It's a victim mentality.
Yeah.
I was watching such a similar story where guys were going into an interview and some people put scars on their face. They didn't know that.
It was,
Yes,
it was
that's
actually,
the one.
so it's actually, well, he mentioned it in the book.
Okay,
But
yes.
yeah.
And they went in or something, and then people who had their scars were covered up, and they went in there with this victim mentality of, oh, I didn't get the job because of my scar.
So that, I don't know if you said it. How did you say it?
Yeah, it's basically
Well, in the book, the version was, maybe it wasn't in a book.
it was I saw it in a
Because was on-
podcast.
yeah.
I saw it in a
So did I
podcast.
maybe. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
so people were
Podcast.
told. Some people were given scars,
Yes.
and some people weren't given scars, but they were told that they were given scars, and they still felt self-conscious, even though they actually had no scars. They were just told that, and that's how
Yeah.
we live as a society. Is you've been told that you're overweight, or you've been told that your genetics aren't the right genetics, so you think that the whole time. Whereas, what's the right genetics or wrong genetics? At the end of the day, longevity is the right genetics.
100%.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Living a happy, healthy life. But yeah, it's that victim mentality of, oh, there's something on me, so I'm not going to be the best that I can. And I think once you think of that, oh my gosh, life is just becomes easier. It's like, cool, this is me. If you like it, cool. If you don't, I don't care. Maybe a little bit, but
Yeah, I think it's impossible not to
it's
get out of
impossible.
it completely, but
Yeah.
to catch yourself, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Because if you catch yourself like, why do I think that person doesn't like me? Don't think that, it's fine. But it's just being able to catch yourself.
100%, yeah.
I used to literally think no one liked me. Oh,
And that's the funny thing
gosh.
is, when you think that, there's a greater chance that people won't end up liking you because you
Yeah.
might be more off, you might be more cold, you might be more, less tolerable of
Outspoken or-
people. Exactly.
yes. Oh my gosh, I hated that era of my life. My gosh, I'd always be like to Keegan, oh, they didn't like me. And he's like, what? what are you talking about? You guys were chatting. And I'm like, they didn't like me. And he's like, you're talking nonsense.
Yeah, because then the next time you maybe meet them or see them, you're going to be like, let me just be wary of these people. Then they get the
Then
weary
they pick
vibe.
off the vibe,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think a lot of people experience that in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I'm also a firm believer, like, the more negative stuff you're feeling, the more you attract
Yes.
it, right? So if you're feeling like, oh, they don't like me, I don't know, I'm getting a weird vibe, and you're constantly self-doubting, then you're just attracting that, right? You're attracting the wrong people in your life as well. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that boils down to people have a misconception of what manifestation is.
Yes.
But
yeah.
if you can't manifest your way to success. But if you visualizing your success, if you're picturing it in your mind, and by doing so, you start thinking, okay, well, I need to know the actions that need to happen to be able to reach that point. Okay, well, positivity. The more positive you are, the more happy you are with people, the better you
Yes.
feel because you were happy with that person. They were happy to you. You felt
Yeah.
received. You felt
Yeah.
validated. So then that's more positive. The next time you meet people, you become more positive. Then
Yeah.
then you start feeling positive about yourself. So maybe your diet improves. Then everything, it just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big firm believer of manifesting, and don't get me wrong, like, people are going to have bad days, bad weeks. The point is to hold yourself accountable, to say, you know what, I've had a bad day. I am negative. I'm feeling in negative space. But the next day you're going to wake up, you're going to pick yourself back up, and you're going to try and change what you can change to get yourself out of the situation that you're not liking, right? And by doing that, I think you're just not allowing the negativity to kind of fester over your life, and you're not playing that victim mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to truly look at your feelings. Like if I'm having a bad day, I need to look, okay, maybe I haven't, let's say it's you working at home the whole day. I'm feeling negative. Why am I feeling negative? Maybe because yesterday I had a cheat meal, so I felt a little bit more lazy today. Maybe it's because I haven't interacted with people today.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of all of these things. Maybe I'm not super sad. Maybe I'm anxious because the client hasn't got back to me and now I'm worried. So like there's lots of reasons why you could be feeling more negative. And the moment you think about these things, maybe you write them down, it becomes more clear, and then you start feeling less of the negative.
Exactly. It's all about perspective. And at the end of the day, when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're stressed, when things are going on, sometimes you have your own perspective about the situation. But if you talk to other people or remove yourself from the situation, you can then kind of have more of a holistic view and say, okay, and then you kind of can like tear it down, and then kind of tackle it one thing at a time, so that it's not this big overwhelming negative thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's weird because even in like really positive times in your life, you generally just think about the negative. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so messed up because you're just like, I was visualizing myself at this very point, and now I'm being negative for no reason because I'm thinking about all the other things going on in my life. Oh my gosh. And we actually spoke about that the other day, where we were both saying we like in such a good place in our life, and now we're forgetting. She was even saying like, just write it down. Just write down all your accomplishments. I mean, like even the face of fitness for me, I need to write that down because now I'm already in my head about like work, about home, about this, and I'm taking away from that experience, which isn't great. So
That's the human condition.
it's
the
so bad.
human condition.
And it's like the same with, let's say you get a raise at work. Oh, cool. This is what I wanted. Oh, a week later, it should have been more.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
You're just like, I can't win.
Yeah.
I think that's just the human brain of we want more, we want better, we want to better ourselves. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, you're like, calm down.
Yeah, I think
Please calm down.
you need to, and I mean, there's obviously the quote where it's not the situation that's upsetting you, it's your perception of the situation that's upsetting you. At the end of the day, if you don't get the raise, or if you did get the raise, you should be pretty much the same, because you do your work, and that's you need to focus on what you can control at the end of the day. Because if you're doing your work, if you are good with the clients, if you do everything you can control, if you don't get a raise, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or a bad employee or anything. It's not up to you at the end of the day. Your boss, they could actually be making less money, and that's why you don't get the raise. And then you think it's because you suck or you're not good enough. And then you get in your own head when there's a million different factors that could contribute to a certain decision.
100%.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, sweet.
Thank you for
It was
having us.
dope.
It was very
absolute
fun.
pleasure chatting with
Yes,
you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really
very
cool.
fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First podcast down.
Done and
Nice.
dusted.
Another scoop?
Yeah, we need to write it down. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
I
can't
can't do another scoop.
No.
I'm tickling a little bit.
take
But
a sleeping tablet tonight.
Rage Rampage, get it, guys.
Yes, guys, you will not be disappointed.
I'll take the ZMA tonight, the Biogen ZMA.
Yes.
There we
Or
go.
anything from Dis-Chem, guys.
There we go.
Cool, ladies. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank
Thank you.
you.